Welcome to Toffee TV, it's the Everton News Daily. It's the 10th of January 2018. Plenty of fallout from last night's general meeting, which we'll come on to. But a story which has come out tonight is that Everton apparently tracking Theo Walcott. We've spoke about this earlier in the week, but I think it's a little bit more concrete now. Everton looking to bring the winger in from Arsenal, who looks like he is going out the door for around £20 million. It looks like Southampton are the favourites at the moment, but 20 million might be a little bit of not a stretch for them, but they just don't value the player at that kind of money. And Everton probably would be willing to do a deal. So Everton are keeping an eye on that, and that could be something that possibly happens. You know, maybe not this week, maybe not next week, maybe around the tail end of the window. We'll have to wait and see, but it's definitely a player that the people at Everton definitely keep an eye on and maybe want to bring in, possibly want to bring in, definitely want to bring in. I don't know. You choose one of those three things. It'll be in the press, I'm sure, plenty over the coming weeks, and we'll have to wait and see if Everton make a move for him. A player who's staying exactly where he is Kieran Dowell. He is staying at Nottingham Forest for the rest of the season. They've just got a new manager in, Ada Karanka. They've just beaten Arsenal in the FA Cup. And he's staying there for the rest of the season. In my eyes, it's sensible. It's the right thing. He should stay there for the rest of the season, develop, play games, and just come back next season at pre-season. Because even if he came back, I don't think Sam Allardyce would have the time to fully see him. We heard him last night talking about Luke Garbutt and saying how he hasn't really seen much of him yet. Even though he's been at the club for over a month, he hasn't had the chance to really sit down and watch players and see how good they are, and whether he's had to just deal with the players he's got. It's been non-stop. So whether if he did bring him back, I don't think he'd get much of a chance to stake a claim. So he's staying in Forest for the rest of the season, and I think that's the best thing, the best outcome. And hopefully next season he can come back and push his way into the squad. Talking, as we said, about last night, the general meeting, a lot of fallout from it. Obviously, we did a little bit of it last night on our Everton News Daily, but we didn't cover it because we were doing it during it. Lot came out afterwards. Obviously, the remarks about Romelu Lukaku, Ross Barkley. Apparently, Romelu Lukaku is going to be consulting a solicitor regarding the statement that was made by Misheri. I don't know if there's any more on that at the moment, or how far that'll possibly go, but apparently he is. Obviously, Misheri mentioned a voodoo doctor, his mum consulting a voodoo doctor, and Romelu Lukaku being a devout Catholic, it's troubled him, and apparently he's going to be seeking legal advice on that. We'll wait and see. Another player who could be seeking legal advice is Mason Holgate. Some old tweets from when he was about 15 were dug up by Liverpool fans trying to get something on him because of what happened in the derby. The FA are looking at them. We don't know how far it's going to go. I don't know what punishment they can put out to him, considering he was a child when he made those tweets. Those tweets have been deleted with his Twitter account since, and the FA are looking at that, so we'll have to wait and see. That has been a precedent set. I think it was Andre Gray got banned for, 4 games for tweets he had on his account from 3 or 4 years ago. So there is precedent, so we'll have to wait and see if anything does happen to Mason Holgate. Going back to the general meeting, it was reported last night that it was almost an unfortunate phrase, saying that Liverpool City Council would be paying 2/3 of Everton Stadium. Now that led to a bit of confusion with some members of the press putting it out like that, and people just wanting clearing up what it meant, because obviously in these times of austerity, no one in their right mind would think it was a good idea for a council to take money away from services to give to a football club. Me including, that's not the right thing to do. But Joe Anderson's come out today to alleviate those fears and make it clear what's going on. It's slightly changed from the arrangement he had beforehand. Joe Anderson said that they went away and looked at the idea of the council being guarantors for Everton Football Club on a loan. And what they've come back and said is, actually, we can get the money ourselves. We can loan Everton the money at a much better rate and get more in. So beforehand, they were being the guarantors, and they would get £4 million back. Now they're the actual loaners, and they will get £7 million back per year for 25 years. So they'll make £175 million over the 25 years, which, as he said, Joe Anderson, this is how, unfortunately, in these times where, you know, the government has taken money off councils, the only way they can make money. It's not ideal, but it means that Everton will be borrowing, as they would be for the new stadium, off a closer to home source at a better rate, and it makes more sense, and the council earn that money back as well. So rather than going to pay higher interest, you know, at a premium lender, or, you know, a big bank or whatever, they're going to the city council. It works out better for everyone. The idea that Farhad Moshiri would just pay the money up front is ludicrous, because, you know, you're talking £280 million. It's ludicrous to think that anyone would do that. You know, Man City didn't do that. Man City's ground, you know, was rented from the council. You know, they're the richest club in the world. So it's ludicrous to think that they would do that. The club will be paying for it over 25 years, like a mortgage, and we'll buy it back, and everyone's a winner, as far as I'm concerned. Some people can't really get the facts into their heads and still consider, you know, contesting this and saying it's coming out of the public money, but it's not. The council can't use that money for anything else. They can use it for schemes. And the way this council are looking at it is, Everton's ground will kick-start the regeneration of an area that's desperate for generation. They were talking about time frames of 30 years for that whole area to be developed. With Everton's ground, that will come down to 10 years. So let's just hope. Let's hope that gets sorted. It's not ratified. It's got to go through the council. It's got to go through the process of due diligence. Let's hope it does, and let's hope that Everton can get this going before the costs of it really start spiraling. Everton have to find a third of the money themselves. I'm confident they'll do that. But in these times of confusion and not knowing what's happening because of the Brexit situation, costs will likely continue to rise. So Everton have got to try and get this done as quick as possible. If you want more on last night's general meeting, we've done a video, me and Baz, it's already out. Go and check that out. We cover everything from last night, so make sure you check that out. But as I say, Joe Anderson has made sure he's come out today and alleviated those fears and made it absolutely crystal clear what is happening. And he said this is a decision for Liverpool City Council first. Yes, he's an Evertonian, but this is about the council first. This is about the city first. This is about regenerating an area, helping to regenerate an area, just like they did with Liverpool, by the way, when Liverpool built their new stand. This is about regenerating the area. This is about providing the funds that will kickstart it, that then will be paid back to them with money on top, as I said, £7 million a year. That then can be ploughed into services. That can be ploughed into Sure Start and libraries and you know, helping homeless people and all those things. So for me, if Everton get taken a loan and it's going to help the city, then for me that's fantastic. That's the way to do it. That is if you've got to take a loan out, then this is the way to do it. It feels a lot better. It's not the best solution. The best solution would just be going, here is the money and paying for it, but that's just never going to happen. That just doesn't make sense. Even if people say, you know, he is a billionaire, that's him paying and not the football club. And you know, by the time if he did pay it and the club were paying it back to him, you know, he mightn't be at the club long enough to see that money repaid. So for me, it makes sense, and hopefully it gets sorted out sooner rather than later, so we can get on with the process of building the ground. So that's about it for today. They're all the major stories covered. As I said, make sure to check out our video we did on the general meeting. That's already out. I think that's everything. Thanks for watching the Everton News Daily. I'll see you later.